Hi everyone, my name is Angela from Angela Stitches and welcome back to my channel. So after I uploaded my first October Halloween stitching vlog, I worked on my mystery cell and finished one of the pages, so I got these two motifs done. And now I'm going to move up here and work on the motif with the ghost. And that's on the second page, and also there are two other motifs, and I think the page will end about right here. Well, actually, let's see. So, about right here actually. So that's a lot of stitches, so I'm going to continue with this today. And I also got a question about where I got my thread keeper. So if you joined my channel recently, I talked about this a lot in my other videos, but I actually made this summer, and it is for sale in my Etsy shop. And my Etsy shop and my email and Instagram is always linked in the description box below. So I make these needle minders and thread keepers. So I have some more here. And so these are thread keepers where you can have the floss and also put your needle for safekeeping on your project. So I have a couple of these in my Etsy shop right now, but the thing is right now, because of COVID, I'm not able to ship things out to the States, to the UK, and other European countries, and also Canada. So all of this right here are all of the packages that are ready to go, and I have more in my studio right now, so I'm just waiting for the restrictions to be lifted. But I'm very lucky that I have my customers and buyers are really patient. So I just have the packages all ready to go, but I'm just waiting for the post office to start accepting mail. So, but there is another option called EMS, which is supposed to be like priority mail. So it is a lot more expensive than standard shipping, but I can ship it that way if you would like me to ship it now. But that is another $20 to $25 depending on where you are and by the weight. And I recently found out that I can send things out through sea mail or surface mail, but that takes about 2 to 3 months. But they are accepting this option, but obviously it's a lot slower. But again, but they are still accepting sea mail, so that could be another option to think about. I will email everybody on the 15th to ask if they would prefer this rather than just waiting until they start accepting airmail. But yeah, so you can still purchase them at my Etsy shop. Just know that because of COVID, shipping has been a little difficult. So back to stitching, I'm gonna work on the motif with the ghost here. And then after I worked on this last night, I worked on Blue Manor by Abby Rose Designs. So I got one side of the border done, and oh, this is another, also one of my thread keepers. But so I finished this page or this border on this page, and now I'm going to do a couple of these motifs here and do the year, but I haven't decided if I want to put 2020 or the year that I was born, 1988. So I'm going to decide that later, but I chose this one for the motifs, and I'm gonna use this color for the windows on the house as well. Probably for the darker parts of the window, and I'm going to need another lighter color for the outline, or the window panes. And for the house, this dark blue, and then this pink for the ear. But I don't think this pink goes with the other colors, so I'm actually going to change it to something a little bit more muted. But I think these two are the ones that I know for sure I'll use. But I'm actually really enjoying this piece, and I have another house chart. I wasn't going to start that one this month, but I'm thinking about it. It's called Pink House, or I think it's called Pink House. I'm not really sure, but I'll put a picture here if I can remember it. But yeah, that's a maybe. But yeah, and then I also worked on my Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, but just a little bit on the cat. So I'm just outlining the cat so that I can just fill in later. And that's all I did on Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. And because I'm working on a lot of bigger projects, and I also thought it would be nice to work on something that I can finish pretty quick. So I think I want to start this, but let me just move this out of the way real quick. So this is called Four Seasons by Prairie Schooler, and I think I'm gonna start the autumn one this month and try to finish this. And this is only 31 by 31 stitches, and it's only going to be about 2 inches. It does have a lot of colors, but I'm going to try to finish this tomorrow. I think that's enough time to do that. So I think I can do it. It's so tiny, and I'm going to stitch some of it in color and cotton, so maybe the house and the green floor, like the grass and maybe the pumpkins because I already have some of the oranges out already. So I'll probably choose from, let's see here. So maybe this one. I think that's gonna look really nice. And for the fabric, since this is so small, I'm not gonna stitch it on 40 count. I was going to, but it was going to be too small, so I'm just gonna stitch it on this. This is a 32 count, and this is one of my favorite Belfast linen, and it's called Dirty by Zweigart. I think any Halloween or designs that are kind of dark looks really good on this. It's just a very natural or neutral background that helps the stitching look really good. And I also feel like my stitches look a lot better on this fabric for some reason. So yeah, I'm just gonna start kitting this up. So hopefully I can finish this by tomorrow. So I think I'm ready to start this, but I'm actually gonna go to work and come back later tonight to start this. So I worked on one of the motifs here and moved to the frame for the ear. So this is what it's going to look like, but I'm actually going to stop this for now and pick this back up on the 9th or on the 10th because the 10th here is the 9th in the States. Because of the time difference, I think the Haunting of Bly Manor comes out on the 9th, and that's the 10th for me here in Korea. So I'm going to work on this again when that comes out. So until then, I'm gonna try to decide on what to put here for the year. 2020 wasn't really a good year, but I'm going to do some of the motifs and get to the house and try to make really good progress on this while getting scared at the same time. I think it's going to be really awesome. But after that, I worked on my mystery cell, and I really wanted to finish this motif, but I was only giving myself to work on this for 30 minutes so that I could work on other things. So yeah, that's all I did, but I did manage to get one of the half ghosts done, and I think it looks really cute. And then I didn't work on Halloween at Hawthorne Hollow at all, so this is exactly what it looked like yesterday. And I didn't have time to work on this because I was working on the autumn piece by Prairie Schooler, and I got half of it done. So I think I'll be finishing this today. There's only the house to stitch and like the tree, and I feel like that's not a lot of stitches. The bottom half I have here was solid stitching, but the upper half is just only a little bit, so I'm hoping to get this done by tonight. I didn't work on this at all, it's just here because I didn't have room on my other desk. Um, because I have color and cotton everywhere for 3 different projects right now, so. But I did work on my Halloween at Hawthorne Hollow, and I started the fire for the cauldron. And for the fire, I called for the same colors that I've already used here, but I decided to tone it down a little bit. So I didn't have a yellow that was more like a gold in color and cotton, but I found this, and this is Weeks Dye Works. So I used this one instead of the yellow, and then for this, um, it calls for the same color as the grooves of the pumpkin here, but I went with something a little darker, and it's called Old Pumpkin. And for the other orange, I decided to use this, and this is called Terracotta for this flame here. It was supposed to be this color, but I decided to go a little darker. But I think they look really good together stitched. And so yeah, I'm really happy with this project, and I'm going to continue through the bottom here just to see how long this is gonna be. I can measure it, but I just like to find out and actually see it by doing all of the stitches. So after that, I worked on my mystery cell and finished the motif with the ghost. But I actually used up my second Valdani spool, so that's why this looks really wrinkled, because it was like the last bit of it. But I actually got a third spool months ago, so I think this project will need at least 3 spools to finish. And I'm doing this on a 32 count 1/2. And yeah, so I had to refill it, but tonight I'm gonna try to finish one of the motifs on top. And I have a finish to show you. So I got the autumn one done, and eventually I want to finish all 4 of these and turn them into ornaments. But for now I got the autumn one done, so yeah, this was really quick. Really fun to stitch too. So I'm actually going to start another small, but I don't think it'll be finished anytime soon like this one did. But it is one of the Brooks Books cakes, and I'm actually going to stitch it on this fabric. So this is a 40 count fabric, and I'm going to have some space here, and I feel like I can fit in a couple of small projects here, so maybe I'll even do the Autumn House by Brooks Books. I think that's going to look really good on here too. So I'm thinking I can fit in 3 small projects, so I'm thinking doing the Fall October birthday cake here, and also do the Autumn House in the middle. And she also has like a seasonal pantry, so maybe I'll do the fall one on the other side. So I think that's gonna look really cute. So lots of plans, and I'm gonna start the birthday cake tonight, and maybe I don't know if I want to work on Halloween at Hawthorne Hollow. Maybe I'll work on the mystery cell first and see what I feel like. But yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow. So I'm picking this back up today. I think the Netflix show comes out sometime today, I think. So I'm going to work on this, but I still need to choose one of the other colors for the house. So this is the one that I chose for the dark blue. And then for gray, I was going to use this, but looking at this now, it does look a little warm against this blue. So I chose this last night, and looking at it right now, the warmth doesn't look really nice. So the other option that I had, so there's 2, and I think these look pretty much the same to me right now, so I think I'll just use this one. I don't think it really matters, but I think this will look more cohesive when it's stitched together. So I'm going to work on this today and just binge watch The Haunting of Bly Manor. So I'm super excited, and I didn't really work on anything last night because I had some other work that I had to do. But I worked on this cat on Halloween at Hawthorne Hollow. I just finished the floss that I had here. And oh yeah, I totally forgot about. So here, I started the October birthday cake by Brooks Books. Um, so I'm working on the bottom layer of the cake, and I didn't realize this, but this design calls for 3 Mill Hill beads. And I was going to do the beads with the ones that I had, but I'm stitching this on a 40 count, so I only have beads that are for 32 counts. So those beads were going to be too big on 40 count, so I decided to skip the beads for these, and I'm assuming there are going to be a lot more beads on other birthday cakes, and I don't think I could get all of the beads for all 12 cakes, and I think they're all going to be different colors because each birthday cake is in different color schemes. If it was like the Bryce tree ornaments where um, it only calls for 2 colors in all of the 12 designs, then maybe I would have gotten the beads, but this has too many beads. So I'm just going to stitch them with the called for colors and color and cotton probably. But yeah, that's all I got done on this one, and it's really pretty. So I'm really excited to start this whole series with the birthday cakes. And then, so someone asked me how I use my coloring cottons because I think she saw one of my older videos where I cut flaws from, well, right off from the tag. So I just cut a length to stitch right off from the tag without taking it out because that's just another step that I need to do that really isn't necessary. So I just make sure I cut from one side. So if you look at here, there's this loop and it's divided into half, and sometimes it's hard to see the two separated, but if I loosen this up here just a little bit, you see it's two thing of floss. So I just loosened this up a little bit so that you can see. So I would just start with one of the sides, and then when I cut up all of this to stitch, I would only have the other half left, and I would just pull this side. I hope that just made sense, but it'll make more sense when you actually try this. So if you try to cut from both sides, you'll end up with this very short pieces in the middle, and it's a bit wasteful. So this one here, I have a bunch of the half pieces left. So all I need to do is just pull the ones that are sticking out, and then I don't have any smaller pieces in the middle to waste. So I hope that made sense. So I hope that was helpful, but it's just one of the things that I do to make more progress on my webs. So yeah, and I think I'm gonna go to the studio to work on the house later when I come back. And oh, I'll probably add the video before this clip, but yesterday when I came out of my studio to use the bathroom, there was a cat sleeping in the garden area where it's a bit messy. I didn't keep up with that side of the garden, but I've never seen this cat before, so he's new to me. I've seen a lot of cats in this area, but he or she was just sleeping there, and he was shy at first, but he came and ate the food that I gave him, and I left more food before coming back home last night, so I'm going to check today if the food is gone. But I heard the owner of the building didn't want his tenants to feed the cats, but I just heard that from my neighbor, and I think she made that up because maybe she didn't like it. I'm not going to get into it here, but I don't think she's a very nice person. She acts like it, but she tried to confuse me on where I need to put the trash out, and it was at someone else's property, so I could have gotten into trouble for that. So I don't really trust her. But anyways, I think the cat will come back, so I'm gonna add the video probably before this, so maybe you already saw it, but I don't know. He looked like he was super exhausted, so I'm gonna go to the studio and see if the food is gone. But yeah, so I'm gonna work on the house later when I come back and maybe on the mystery cell tonight. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. So I ended up not stitching at all, only just a little bit because I came home late last night, so I didn't work on anything other than Blue Manor. So I only got two of these motifs done and the frame and started a little bit on the house. But let me just get the chart so that you can see the cover picture. And I watched one episode and started the second episode of The Haunting of Bly Manor, and nothing too scary happened. It is a little weird and strange so far, but nothing like too disturbing to really scare me. But I'm only in the second episode, so I'm just gonna work on this again tonight and watch a couple more episodes of The Haunting of Bly Manor. And a little update about the cat at the studio. So when I went back yesterday, the food I left was gone. So I left more food out and changed the water that I had out. And then I went into the studio to work and came back out in 2 hours, I think. And then the food was gone again. So, but I didn't see the cat. So, yeah, and I left more food before coming back home last night. But I'm not gonna go to the studio today because I want to take at least one day of the week off to rest, and also it's Sunday today. So I'm gonna go to the studio tomorrow on Monday to check, but Yeah, and also today I wasn't going to get the tickets to the BTS online concert, but I got it today, so it's their second day of the virtual concert this weekend, so I'm gonna just watch that and stitch. And then after that, I'm gonna continue watching The Haunting of Bly Manor. So yeah, I'm just gonna rest today and chill and just stitch. Maybe make some bread in between, but yeah, so I still haven't decided on what year to put here though, so I'm going to skip that for now. But I'm gonna choose a second color for the windows, or the window panes. If you see here, the windows have this lighter yellow border around it, so I'm going to find something for that. And yeah, so I'm gonna work on Blue Manor and maybe on the Mystery Cell next week and try to finish it. And a little bit more on the birthday cake and what else? Oh, the Halloween at Hakron Hollow. And yeah, maybe I'll start another small project, but I haven't decided on which one yet. So I think that's it for this video. So I hope everyone is doing really well and getting lots of Halloween stitching done. And let me know if you have any questions and I'll talk about it in my next video. So thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!